Alright, what's going on, everyone? It's been a little bit since I made one of these episodes. Honestly, the market hasn't fucking done anything in months, so I've been struggling to come up with content for videos. But I'm thinking I'm going to make a small change. That small change being, rather than trying to cover the higher timeframes, because there's no higher timeframe movement, I'm going to stick on the lower timeframes and kind of explain my plan for the day. And we'll try to do that like 4 to 5 days a week. They might be shorter videos, but at least we'll be getting some content out. Before we get into it, a special thanks to Globe Exchange, easily some of the most competitive fee structures in the game. So go click the link in the description below, sign up with them, check everything out. They're a fairly new exchange, but like I said, easily some of the most competitive fee structures available. So I have been a little bit quiet lately, working along on Project Fingo. We're just about ready to launch, a few weeks away. So make sure that you are following Project Fingo and keeping an eye out for updates. So essentially, I've just put my strategy, we've coded our strategy into an algorithm and automated that. So here are some of the results. You can go onto the Twitter page and check that out for yourself. But so what I'm going to do on a Monday is start off looking at the weekly, go down to the daily, and then go onto my daily bias. And then throughout the week, we won't bother with the higher time frame stuff. We'll just stick to the lower time frames. So starting off here, there's really no reason to be looking for longs. I was in a long earlier, but the support didn't hold, and I'll go over that trade. I got stopped out. I think it's important to take a look at losing trades as well as winning trades. And I also have my Discord, my open free Discord, where I share all of my positions and my entire life's work, all of my strategy, all there for free. So go and check the link out in the description below if you want to learn more about what I'm explaining in these videos. So there's really no reason now anyway to be looking for any higher time frame longs. We've been pretty much stuck inside of this range, no movement at all on the higher time frames. So you can see we come up, we hit resistance, we hit supply and a previous area of distribution, and then we continue to distribute and we're just selling off. The most likely thing that I think is going to happen would be for us to retest this accumulation. So if you are new here and you haven't watched any of my videos in the past, I am just using one pattern to find accumulation, distribution, support, resistance. Once I find that pattern, I then look for the same pattern to form again as an entry trigger. So what is that pattern? Essentially, I'll wait for, if I'm looking for accumulation, I'll wait for a low to be swept. Once that low is swept, I look for price to break up above the high that swept the low. Once we get that break, like I said, I then look for the same pattern to form again. So sweep of a low, followed by a break of a high. Once I get that, that basically tells me, okay, price is starting to accumulate. I can start to look for longs. However, you can see that we have some distribution up here. Price is distributing. So sweeping out a high, breaking below the low, sweeping out all of these highs, breaking below the low. And then we have some distribution here on the daily and H4 that I'll go over in a sec. But the reason that I'm saying that there's no reason to look for longs is because there's no obvious accumulation. So what I can do is start to mark out higher time frame levels where I then expect price to head to before we start to accumulate. It doesn't mean that I don't take trades before we hit here. What it could mean is that I take shorts into this area. So you can see we swept out this low, breaking above the high. Since the whole bull run that we had in 2020 to 2021, we haven't yet retested this level. So in my opinion, I think before we see any kind of significant bottom, whether that bottom is a complete reversal or just a decent size retracement, I think we do need to retest this level. So now let's go on to the daily. Keeping in mind though, I am a lower time frame trader. So although I'm marking out these levels, it doesn't mean that I'm not taking any trades until we reach them. So let's take a look at this. So taking out this high right here, breaking below these lows, taking out all of these highs, and then breaking below this low here, which was responsible for taking the high. So this is just obvious distribution. The trade that I was in earlier today before getting stopped out, you can see we took out all of these lows here, breaking above the high. That was responsible for taking those lows. And then we have a sweep right there again, and then a break. And this was my entry trigger as we closed up above in this zone right here. And unfortunately, I did get stopped out, but that's the reality. So we'll get rid of that. So what we're seeing is price continually distributing, players continually selling off their Bitcoin. The rallies are weak. The areas of accumulation that would hold if we are going to see any kind of significant retracement are not holding, and we're just continuing to distribute. The tricky situation that we're in now is that we're at higher time frame support. Okay, so a general rule of thumb obviously is that you don't short into higher time frame support. However, there's not enough evidence to suggest that we can be looking for swing longs. So that pretty much counts me out of looking for trades on the H4 and the H1 for now anyway, at least until we get a sweep of some higher time frame levels. So a sweep of this level, for example, followed by more distribution, okay, into a previous area of distribution. That would be enough for me to enter short, okay, but for now, not really comfortable with shorting where we are. So we have just taken out some key lows. We took out this low just a few minutes ago, a few hours ago. So I am expecting a small retrace here leading into London Open. So this is kind of how I would map things out going into the session. So we now have this key high here, a bunch of liquidity resting above that high. However, we did just take out that low that I pointed out, and then we have some accumulation below it. So taking out that low, breaking above the high. Even though we do have some accumulation here, that doesn't mean that we're going to see full reversal. It may just mean that price is prepping for a temporary move to the upside, which I think is what we're going to get. No entry trigger yet. I think if we can get one more push down, followed by a break here, something like that, or even one more sweep, followed by some accumulation, then I could look for a long scalp into this area of resistance. If I don't get the long trigger, if we break up above here and then see some distribution up above this high, then I can look for some lower time frame shorts. So a pretty simple plan here. No trade setups just yet. If we break up above this high and see some accumulation, or one more low here and accumulation, or accumulation below this low, then scalp longs. If we break up above this high temporarily, get some distribution there, then I can look for scalp shorts. Pretty simple stuff. Like I said, we are reaching into higher time frame support, so looking for higher time frame swing shorts is not a good play in my opinion, and we have just taken out this key swing as well. So trying to play it safe, take it easy. Yeah, so looking for one of these setups. No worries, I'm going to call the video there. And the next video will probably be about 2-3 minutes long, just covering my my bias for the day and how I'm planning to execute. So if you do want to learn more, you can click the link in the description below. My free open Discord is there. If you want to help out, sign up to Globe. That helps us out, it helps the stream out. No worries guys, enjoy the rest of your day.